Hey guys, we're back in our video. We're here with Larson again. We were at TGG Gaming here on our Wednesday local. I didn't do so well, so don't even get. But he did well. He went X1, I went X3. I had a bad day, but he had a great day. So I'll just pass it off to him.
So I played Live Twin today. I don't really have the format figured out just yet, so I figured a deck that I can just shove like a bajillion hand traps in and side basically anything I want and just see one card starters is going to be good. It also just doesn't lose to Ogre, so if you're in a locals that plays a lot of Ogre, or if you're in a format like right now where Ogre's like everywhere, this is like a pretty solid pick if you're like expecting to be Ogre, which I got Ogre like 4 times today and it never mattered. You have just room to play everything, and it's super flexible and good right now. I feel like definitely slept on, but let's get right into the deck profile. We're on 3 copies of blue. It's just the best one. Before, it didn't really matter which one you were playing, which one you saw in your hand, but if you were to prefer one now, it's blue because you just summon pink and then you get a draw on your opponent's turn, which comes up with however many hand traps you're playing. Just like I said, 3 pink. I've seen lists on 2. That's like totally incorrect. Any normal summon you can get your hands on is like desperate. You're playing every way to get to these as possible, except for maxing out on home. I don't agree with playing any more copies than 1 of home, and I'll just explain that when we get to it. We're on 2 Frost. I thought about cutting this to 1 and putting in another hand trap, but it was fine at 2. It was really good when I drew it along with like home or password or Sunny Snitch, because even if I got hand trapped on the summon, I still had this to follow up. It's just the better one, the superior one. You do still play the 1 zombie because it's the same thing as with if you have like pink plus Sunny Snitch, you just summon the pink, beta hand trap if they have one, and then you search this and continue your combo. And your combo is literally like a 4-step process, so it's barely even a combo, but it's good enough to win games right now. And this deck just strives in a simplified game state. And that's the whole goal of playing this deck, is like you play all the hand traps to neutralize the game state, and then you win with like a 2 to 3 interruption board, or you go first and you put up like a 5 interruption board with all your hand traps and stuff. We play the brick. You can play this if you want to, or if you don't. It's pretty optional. I like it because it just guarantees you that removal, unless you banished off desires, which didn't happen to me today. But yeah, it guarantees you that removal, and like it's not even that bad of a card either. It's like a pseudo evenly matched, and it becomes 44 when it hits board, so it helps close out games if you need it to. It's good. It really sucks to draw, but it could be a lot worse. You can just use this discard fodder for one of your 4 or 5 cards of discards. Onto the deck. We're on 3 Ash. It's just generic and it's good, and it's you'll notice there's a trend of playing hand traps that can be activated off of the draws on my opponent's turn. Said with 3 Ogre, I'm so happy to be able to bust out these secrets. Oh my god, look at him. Zoom in on him, Todd. Zoom in. Oh, so nice. Don't ask for ultis, I'm not buying them. We're on 2 Valor. I also just played lowest rarity of the hand traps I can find if I don't have max, or at least high. So 2 Valor. This was supposed to be 3, but I last minute put in a different card. So 2 Valor. 2 Nib. So I don't lose to this card. I mean, it's low-key good right now, and people are just sleeping on it because it's good in decks that can play like a surplus of hand traps, because right now it is true you do need to see Nib plus another hand trap, whether it be Valor, Imperm, Gamma, etc. You do need to see Nib plus another hand trap for it to be good, but the thing is, like, if you're ever seeing Nib in this deck, you're seeing it with another hand trap because you're playing so many of them. So that's the reasoning on the Nibs. Also cross out, and then we're playing 1 Bell. So this was instead of putting a 3rd Valor in my head, I was like, wait, Bell's like stupid right now, right? So Bell is like low-key another copy of Called by the Grave right now. Which sounds completely wrong, but like hear me out, right? So Called by and Bell both stop DPE. Called by and Bell both hit Drytron, and Called by and Bell both like fuck up Virtual World. So in my mind, I was like, this is like a second copy of Called by. Not in the sense that I'm negating hand traps, but like drawing it for turn even is fine, because you can Bell the Scythe in Graveyard when they pop the Scythe. It's just a good hand trap right now, and I don't want to play more. I feel like this plus another combination of cards that I'm playing, the ratios are a little weird, but it worked out just fine. It came up twice today, and it was really good. For the other cards, for the spells, yeah, 3 of everything in your deck. This resolved every day, every game I activated, and it didn't get ashed because everybody waits to see, which is correct. Because if you just grab the search spell, then you're like, okay, they probably don't have a normal summon. But then if you like just hold this and you normal summon and you bait an interruption and you activate this, you just get full combo. It's really about when you activate this, not how you do it. Waiting for sequencing is correct. 3 Tenki. Yeah, Tenki got limited, so I play a deck that searches it. And the burn actually came up today because it put somebody in exact lethal for the 22 swings for the little guys. Instead of me having to commit to the big one, I was able to kill with just the little ones, which it didn't really matter that much, but it was cool. And the burn is nice. I mean, in time, it just puts your opponent on a clock. They can't commit. It forces either a draw in time, or they have to be able to do enough to beat the burn in the game and still continue in battle phase. So this card just cracked. And rest in peace, Tenki.
If anyone notices a theme with decks, it's literally 1 card starters, a bunch of hand traps, and a Tenki like card.
It's wannabe Zodiac. 1 live twin home. Yeah, because I lost my 1 barrage. So anybody who plays more of this, I feel like is just wrong. I don't think you need more of this. You're playing the extenders. You're playing a bunch of cards to stop hand traps. This going second is good. You're playing pseudo-ish 4 copies with 3 password. This card just cracked. I drew the One of Desires 3 times today. Granted, we had 5 rounds, so it's actually not that many times. But it's crazy that it happened 3 times, right? This card's just still stupid. I mean, like, why wouldn't I play it?
Should be a 3, but
it really should be. Double droplets. So I was gonna max out on this, but I was just like thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, so I'm on 3. You'll see it later, but I'm on 3 Imperm. I'm on 3 Imperm, so I can force the DPE. I'm on 2 of this, so I can respond to the DPE or the Scythe, and I'm on the Called By and the Bell. I was like, if I put a 3rd of this, I feel like it's being a bit redundant. You'll see a couple 2 elves in the spell that might seem weird, but just trust me, it looks horrendous, but it works so well. So I just stuck with 2. I put the 3rd in the side, and it works really well. This walking into boards too is just crazy. You normal summon, activate the effect, they respond, you chain droplet, send to negate, and then you combo. The 1 call by, like I was explaining, you're basically playing 2 copies of it right now, like technically. Aside from that, I drew this once and it came up, and it was good. But since we can't always draw called by, we can draw Crossout, and I'll just throw it in right here now. Talents is another card I was playing. It's like another going second card, but it's also low-key another copy of Call by the Grave. So I feel like this is playing 4 copies of Call by the Grave, in my opinion. Is it actually? No. Is this sometimes better than Call by? Yeah. Is this sometimes better than Call by? Yeah. But this is what I decided on, because this is... if Nib didn't kill this deck, you wouldn't play this card. But since Nib does kill this deck, you have to play the crossouts, in my opinion, at least 2. Because you can still get away with like a Talents and a Call By. Because even if you get Nibbed and you don't have the crossout, if you have the Talents, you can just dig deeper, and then if you see any of your search spells, you can continue, because you can just use the link, the token for link material, and make one of the link 2s to end on the pop, and then you can also get your draw from the Pink Engrave. And then the Call By is just like, it's so versatile right now, like it stops everything. But the crossouts are basically just for Nib. It came up, I had a mirror match today.
What?
Yeah, I had a mirror match today, so I cross-outed Kisako, and I won. So I was like, let's go. And then for the last of the spells, we're on 2 Cosmic. This is kind of the same theory behind like the Droplet, except this also just helps me with like any deck that's playing back right now. I responded to like field spells with it today. I responded to, I hit end phase stuff like the quick play spells, to fusion and shit like that.
It literally just says.
I don't even remember the specific instance where it came up, but it came up like every game. It didn't. It's kind of funny. It didn't come up with hitting the Scythe like I intended it to, because I drew like 3 to 4 hand traps every game this tournament. So yeah, I never got that far. But this card is like super good in theory, and it worked well. I wouldn't pull it out. And then, of course, the last 3 cards. We're on triple Imperm. Still good. I had somebody play into an Imperm palm today. It's the first time it's happened in a while, especially at this locals. But it happened, and I was like, feeling pretty good about life. Aside from that, this, if you are not a fan of the Imperms, This could be another Bell, another Baylor, and another Dip. And you're cleaned up right there on a hand trap lineup. Because those are all hand traps you can draw, and your opponent's turn off of the 2 draws, and they can be used. I like the Emperor though. Just me. I mean, I feel like the more monster negation, the merrier, right? This is optional though. This is totally optional. You can also play the challenge. I don't like it, but I know some people are on it. So that's it for the main deck. Clean cut 40. Should be exactly 40. We'll go to the extra deck next. So as you expect, it is a live twin deck. We do have to play 3 Kissico. I'm just gonna start calling them pink and blue because their names are exhausting to say. I'm fucking tired after today.
I don't know. I'm hoping a little
Standard. I don't even need to explain. If you're watching the deck profile, you know what these guys do. It's the reason you play the deck. Shout out to you if you're an OG and you played the deck before the Link 4. You're cracked. Speaking of Link 4,
That's the argument behind
yeah, this card's dumb. No more need to be said. Wins game.
I think you do.
So stupid. So I've seen a couple lists recently that's playing like Access Code combo with like Selena and stuff, or I've seen lists that's playing like Access Code and IP and Link Devotee and stuff like that. I don't like it. I feel like the whole point you play this deck is to keep the game as simple as possible while still maintaining a winning board state. So we're literally just playing Toolbox. I'm not even playing Access Code because sometimes you lock into Fiends, and if you're locked into Fiends, this virtually does the same thing as Access Code for you, because you can still assemble lethal with this, and then Tribute, and you summon 2, and that's 8k. And you're already popping cards up to your combo already because of like the blue and stuff, and then you can pop with this as well.
That's the funny thing with how.
But yeah, this is basically.
As long as Polly's in the
I mean, you could play Access Code if you really want to. You could. I don't think it's like that good. But I do recommend the Phoenix and the Unicorn. They come up a lot. The draws come up a lot because you can co-link them when you resummon the links back. You summon them in the main monster zone, so you co-link them while you're using them to break the board, and then you just OTK. And it's just Toolbox. It's really Toolbox. If you're playing Prosperities, these are like the easiest 3 banish to get out of there and just pot of Duality. But don't play Prosperities. Deck's consistent enough. And then the last cards in the deck. I've seen some people off it. I've seen some people on it. Don't pay attention to that. Zeus. I mean, I explained it to somebody earlier. If you go like Droplet their board and you have a normal summon, you can either go make them go -4 by making the Abomination just off of normal summon, or you can go Zeus and clear the board. Sometimes this is a better option, sometimes this is a better option. It gives you multiple options, and the Cavalry Loki is like hella nice. I mean, I see Gachi sometimes, but I don't like it. I think Cavalry's just better right now. And I mean, I feel like it's just, you're already taking so much damage from that, and then you're committing that hard to a Zeus. At least you can clear a card with this.
That activates though.
Yeah.
Gachi doesn't.
Bro, Gachi's stupid looking, and I don't own a copy of it.
You know what? Fair.
Yeah, there we go. You can play Gachi if you want. I don't give a shit.
It's the budget variant.
Yeah, this is budget.
The card's like $35.
Yeah, Cavalry's expensive as
Gachi,
fuck.
Gachi's the budget
Oh
variant.
yeah.
But he did say he was going to for the rest of the
We'll just jump into the side deck.
and he's not going to complain about anything anymore.
Yes.
Card's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I gotta explain this. That's just the third one to finish off the Cosmic. There's a single one. Yeah. Card's really good right now. So this was, it could be Floodgates, could be anti-spells, but I was like, yeah, I'm just losing to like the best extra deck monsters in the game because this deck sometimes struggles to out like Towers-esque monsters. So I was like, Judgment will clear it up. Only double draw. I didn't have room for 3, and I didn't think it was good enough for me to play 3. We're playing 2 good Arla because I'm afraid of Flunder.
Who isn't?
Yeah, true. And then we're playing the third copy of Drop It. Like I said, I side the third copy of this and the third copy of Cosmic. And it worked perfect today. I mean, the only loss I took was to Sandesh. Because I just threw. I don't know what the fuck. Okay, so game 2 I didn't threw. But game 1, I literally put up like a cracked board and I was like, talents, let me look at your hand. And it was like Ecclesia, Allure of Darkness with no Allure of Darkness target, a Nib that I had already cross-outed, an Imperm to force the linked 4, right? And then Super Poly. So what as a viewer, what do you grab from that hand, right? You grab the Super Poly, right? You're like, get the fuck out of here. He's playing Despia.
What did you take?
I put back the Ecclesia.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Thrower.
And then in my mind I was like, Why did I put back the Ecclesia?
So free.
Yeah, no, so I dropped that, but that was my only match I dropped today, and the other ones were pretty fast. They were all 2-0s.
If you take Polly, he draws like another allure. He literally.
Yeah, it was that game was done for if I did that, but you know, small mistake, and I'm tired. So
It's okay.
otherwise than that, it was a pretty successful day.
Oh, that's good. Congrats, Larson, on the 4-1 finish with Rogue deck.
Oh, it's
hand
tier
trap.
2. Don't even lie to me. It's tier 2. You know it's tier 2.
Rogue is adding Nister, man.
Yeah.
Okay, tier 2. We'll
There
say
we
tier
go.
2.
Give me my flowers.
My deck was tier 2, but I went 2-3 today, so. But anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed this. If you have any questions about Zach, leave them down in the comment section below. Also, if you've watched this far, say rip Tenki, bring back Trident.
Yeah.
So,
Tanky, bring back Trident. Trident.
there.
Trident back. No, Trident can totally come back.
Have a nice day.
Buy me L2 Whiptails.
Also, ban equips.
Yeah.
No, you can leave. You can leave. And Zectors needs those.
Power tool to jail.
Have a great day.